Thank you very much. First of all, let me welcome the fact that you stressed that your proposal on NPLs is only a draft proposal open to improvement, and I do invite you to take very seriously this public consultation because your proposal, I believe, should be substantially improved. And I hope that the outcome of this public consultation is that a different and more balanced proposal should be submitted to a new public consultation. In fact, I believe that the proposal is fundamentally wrong. It creates regulatory instability. It seems to be highly counterproductive, even from the point of view of reduction of NPLs, and is likely to have strongly negative side effects on the financial stability and on the economic recovery. I have three fundamental problems. The first one is that there is no impact assessment whatsoever, and this is very surprising. You're making an institutional statement on the insufficient provisioning and capitalization in the banking sector. This can only have huge impact. The consequence will probably be the sale of assets with loss of value in the market, leading to big holes in banks' balance sheets, restructuring measures with additional insolvencies and probably an increase of NPLs. New demands on capital requirements probably will have an impact on the lending capacity of banks, so an impact on the economic recovery. So we have here a systemic risk for the financial stability and economic recovery, and all this with no impact assessment. Second problem has to do with the non-binding nature and the legality of the initiative. Your arguments don't seem to be convincing. Of course, it is binding. A quantitative expectation is, in fact, a quantitative rule. The comply and explain mechanism only confirms the binding nature of this rule, and the fact that you foreseen triggers supervisory measures also confirms. The fact that there is no automaticity is not a good argument, because, in fact, when we verify the compliance with the rule, we always do it, or we normally do it, in a case-by-case basis. So it's not really a good argument. The fact is that we are dealing with a binding rule and a bad one, because it is unclear. We don't know what kind of explanations would be considered sufficient. We don't know what kind of evidence would be considered acceptable. So it is binding, and therefore it is illegal. Finally, we have a retroactive effect. Contrary to what was said by the Vice President of the European Central Bank, Mr. Constancio, these rules apply to existing loans, not only to new loans. So they deal with the stock of loans that will become or will be classified in the future as non-performing loans, but we are dealing with the legacy of loans, so we are dealing with the stock. So we have here a retroactive effect. We also have a problem with the entry into force, but the main problem here is the retroactive effect of your proposal.
Thank you very much. You started by saying that you hope that we take seriously comments in consultation. Well, this is what we always do, and I hope that our history is talking for us. Yes, indeed, we will take all comments received into consideration very, very seriously. No impact assessment. Well, they are new NPLs, so it's a little bit difficult to. They don't exist yet. It's steady state. It's not the stock. The stock is easy to make impact assessment if we were to apply the steady state, which is not the case. But new NPLs that are distributing during credits distributing during a good economic period of time, it's a little bit complicated. And you mentioned that this sale of assets will make losses. Well, they are still perfectly fine, those loans. So sales would not make losses for the time being. If they turn non-performing, that's another story. But for the time being, we are talking about loans that are perfectly fine. Well, I hear you as well when you tell me that I am not convincing in telling you, and the text is not convincing in telling you that it's not binding. Well, I will make my best effort to be more convincing in the new text that will come through the consultation. This is as much as I can say. But
Thank you. Danuta Hübner.
Thank you very much, Chair. I would like to ask two short questions.